The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the August 11th, the magnificent Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off early and send it to Steve at TFNN.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on magnificent, marvelous Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we're beginning our day here with a mixed bag. Good to be back with you, by the way. Dow is off 136. S&P is down 5. NASDAQ is up 5. The Russell's off, basically flat. It's down 90 cents. The transports are not flat. They're off 186 points. Semis are up 49. NASDAQ Composite up 12. Gold's off 88 bucks right now. Silver 76 cents. Light sweet crude is flat. Natural gas off 3 pennies. We've got plenty to look at. On our board right now, the only daily signal I've got of these charts here that we take a look at, that I keep track of, if you will, is Adobe. So if we take a look at the chart here for Adobe, you see that you've got a daily TD9 count bottom pattern that completed on Friday. And but now price has also formed a new profile, or it's not formed a new profile, formed that last week. So new profile last week. And price needs to get above 343.85 to have any upside traction. Now, upside traction would generate an additional resistance level of 360.64 and then 376. 16 out there. The weekly time frame is going to complete a TD9 count bottom pattern this week. It also has a Rhodes momentum indicator signal that's been triggered. A bullish reversal candle there will generate a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. Price here needs to get above in order to have any kind of upside traction. Its red oscillator and change line on the weekly basis currently printed at 348.68. The monthly time frame chart has a Gartley buy pattern that actually formed in May. There's the A to B, here's the C to D pattern. You can see the bullish reversal candle. Now, what we have here is prices trading below profile support and its red oscillator and change line. So this is a little bit weak. Now, it's early in the month out here. Support on a monthly basis, you'll have two levels. The key level of support is going to be 332.01. That's the bottom of that Gartley buy pattern. You also have some potential support at 318.60. That is its breakout level. But if it negates this signal and 318.60 doesn't hold price, we're headed lower. But we've got signals. We've got a bottom pattern on the monthly, a bottom pattern on the weekly, and a bottom pattern on the daily time frame chart. For an intraday perspective, we just take a look at that 30-minute time frame, which formed a nice TD9 count bottom. Price would need to close above 344.17. That's its TD9 count breakdown level. That was established by that TD9 count pattern we just took a look at. And if price can close above that, that would be a short-term positive out there. So Adobe's got some potential for those of you that are looking for Adobe out there. Now let's take a look at what's going on, generally speaking, with regard to the markets. And it's confusing as can be. What do you mean it's confusing as can be? Well, first let's start here with the daily equity future contracts. We'll just start here, and then we'll gravitate into some other charts out there. We take a look at the daily equity future charts. I'll start with the Russell on the very right-hand side. Just simply a consolidation with inside its daily profile, having already formed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. The current profile is the low is above the prior low, the high is above the prior high. That's a bullish directional signal. It can't get too bullish until price is able to close above that green oscillator and change line. That number is 22.49. You've got support in a buy zone, which is between 21.90 and 22.20. The Dow Equity Future Contract also has it's also trading with inside its profile. Price got up to test its sell zone. That sell zone was tested for most of last week out there, tested again this morning or overnight, and that was at the 44,388 level to 44,573. So we know that if we can close above 44,573, you're off to the races to the upside. You've got support at 43,834. Now let's take a look at the ES Mini. I'm going to come back to the NQ. If we take a look at the ES Mini, what do we have out here? We've got a TD9 count top. We've got price trading with inside its profile. It's got resistance at 64.45, 50 out there. Even though it says 60 on my chart, it doesn't trade to that point. If we take a look at the NQ is trading into its all-time swing point high. It closed above profile resistance on Friday. Now, that was a bearish structured profile. So closing above that is a very bullish signal. Price is traded above its green oscillator and change line. That is a bullish signal. Now, if we get a second close above 23,631, that also is a bullish signal. You'd have two consecutive closes above the top of a bearish structured profile with price trade above its green oscillator and change line. Ought to be able to make a run for that all-time high in the NQ. The number that we're looking at right now is 23,845. That's for the September contract. We've traded for 3 days to the upside. Maybe we have a fourth day to the upside. Maybe a little bit of a 2-day pullback or something along those lines. But what was so confusing about that, Stevie? Well, here comes the confusion. Let's go take a look what's going on the... Let's do it this way. Let's do it my way. Okay, so if we take a look at this set of charts out here, this is looking at the daily instruments, 4 daily instruments that represent, in essence, the NASDAQ 100. You've got the NQ, which we just talked about. Now, in the NQ still has a sell the D point top. That's at that all-time high. That's that bearish engulfing candle that is out there. On Friday, what the NDX 100 did was it negated its sell the D point top. It closed above the swing point from July 31st. A second on here. From July 31st, that high is 23,589.37. We closed above it. We're trading above it again today. We're trading above the green oscillator and change line as well. This is in bullish breakout mode for the NDX 100 for its cash indice. If we take a look at the Qs have a swing. Now, the Qs negated its sell the D point. Let me just get my cursor out here. The Qs formed their bearish reversal candle for the sell the D point pattern on July 29th out there. Once price closed above that high, which is 572.11, which it did on Friday, it negated that signal out there. We're trading above its all-time high. The Qs do not have any kind of a topping pattern. They have a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal generated, but that needs a bearish reversal candle to confirm a top. In other words, we don't have any synergy here. And talk about lack of synergy, it really comes from the QQEW. You can see that we're not anywhere near the all-time highs in the QQEW, which has a TD9 count top. So it is the weighted instruments inside the Qs that are making that move higher, not the equal weighted. That is a caution sign. Usually it is the equal weighted ETF that points the direction. Here we can see prices trading below its green oscillator and change line and below profile support out there. So this is what makes things confusing. What does the NDX 100 want to do? Quite frankly, to really answer that question, we'd have to go evaluate the top 8, at least the top 8 holdings inside the NDX 100, and maybe along the course of the show, we'll do that. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at the intraday charts here for the NQ, just kind of follow up to the first segment there. And here, if we take, you can see the bottom panel. Each of the bottom panel charts have Rhodes Momentum Indicator tops, 60-minute, 30-minute, the 15-minute time frame charts out there. But no key levels of support have been broken. A key level of support inside of the NQ for its 30-minute time frame would be 23,660. For the NQ on a 60-minute time frame, the first level of key support is going to be down to 23,659 and 23,521. But it's really the 2-hour time frame chart that we're taking a look at. It's got a nice TD9 count top out there. That top would get negated with a close above. I close above 23,773. We're trading at 23,773 right now. Now, if we take a look at what's going on, we try to find synergy out here amongst the markets from a time frame standpoint for the charts, and it turns out that 2-hour time frame chart provides that synergy. As an example, we'll get those charts up on a screen here. We're going to see that each of these 2-hour time frame charts formed TD9 count topping patterns. So if you're wondering what is it that we're watching to the upside or what is it we're watching to the downside, let's go figure that out. Let's start with the ES Mini. We'll come back to the NQ. The ES Mini, you can see the TD9 count top. We can see that what price has done, it's just pulling back, and it's right now it's trading inside its bearish structured profile. Now, this is where support should end. We had two closes above resistance. Resistance is at 64.17. Under 64, really call it 64.18 or 64.1775. Right now, what price is doing is testing the center of that profile at 64.13. When price closes below 64.13, we likely see a move to 63.98. Below that, 63.76. Again, a close above the TD9 count top, which is 64.2950. We head north. The NQ may pull all boats north, and that would need a close above its TD9 count top. 23.773 is the number. Now, in the case of the NQ, which was trading above the top of its bearish structure profile for more than 2 consecutive sessions, price found support where it should have found support if it was only a counter trend move to the downside, 23,695. That is the key number you would be watching on a closing basis should price move to the downside. But at this stage here, that has been rejected. Now price is testing, in essence, that TD9 count top. The Dow Equity Future Contract, its TD9 count top, is tested and rejected so far. We're still trading this bar, by the way, that we're trading is going to close at 12 noon. It's 11.20 right now, but price has found support at its breakout level at 44,121. And finally, on the Russell 2000, TD9 count top, sideways move. It's trading with inside its profile. It's a fairly balanced profile, meaning the center is truly in the center. So you've got levels at 22.22. That has found support. If that level fails, we look for price to get down to 22.1270 out there. So that's what's going on with the 4 equity future contracts for their 2-hour time frames. Those of you that are intraday traders, that's the set of charts that I would be paying attention to give you a feel for what the markets are communicating to you and I. Now, in sticking with the theme of the NASDAQ out there, the first request, the only request actually that I have at this stage in time, well, there's really kind of two, but sort of two, but the only one is to take a look at Tesla. Now, the request came in for TSLZ, which I believe is the short version of Tesla. I believe it is a 200%. So, Piper, in order to make a call on Tesla, I would never look at the 200% or the 300% chart for that decision, so I'm not going to do that. I'll go ahead and pull those charts up for you, but you really should be making your decisions on what's going on the 1X out there, and that's actually just Tesla. Now, if you're asking, should you go short today, Stevie would say the charts are saying, no way, Jose. What do you mean, Stevie? Tesla today is forming an A to B equals CD pattern with volume. So let's take a look at Tesla on the daily time frame. It's got a swing point out here that formed on July 21st. The volume there was 75 million shares. We've traded for less than 2 hours. We're at 39 million shares. This is about 120 million share day out there. Now, I don't know the volume's going to continue to pour in like this throughout, but we are trading above that swing point with volume. That sets up an A to B equals CD pattern. Now, the one-to-one price projection around 347. But if we look at price is traded on the left-hand side. When you're on the left-hand side of the C to D, you're on the strong side out there. That says this could easily do more than a one-to-one A to B equals CD pattern. Well, if it could do more than one-to-one, where's it likely headed to? I'd have to say its most recent daily swing point, which was from the trading session of June 23rd. Now, that had volume of 190 million shares. So we're trading into that swing point with lighter volume. That doesn't mean we won't get up and test that high. We're above profile resistance. We've got volume taking out a prior swing point, but that's really where the resistance level would be and where it's likely gunning for, which is the 357.54 mark. If we take a look at the weekly time frame chart, the weekly time frame chart shows Tesla trading above profile resistance. That was down at 270.11 and trading above its green oscillator and change line. Those are bullish conditions. Price is targeting its swing point. Also, for May 30th, that's got volume of 423 million shares. We're not even going to try to figure out the weekly volume here at this stage of the game, but that price range is between 345.29 and 367.71. The monthly chart is Tesla is traded above profile resistance and its green oscillator and change line. Those are bullish breakout conditions out there. So in the case of Tesla, for its daily, its weekly, and its monthly time frame, Piper, it is telling us it wants higher price, not lower price. Now, I will go ahead and put TSLZ up on our screen out here. Now, I don't know. It's not been, we don't have a ton of data, certainly for the monthly time frame, I wouldn't think. But if we take a look at TSLZ out here, you can see that this is now targeting a swing point from back here on June 23rd. The volume there, 183 million shares. It's trading lower with 70 million shares. So just multiply that times 3. You're at 210. You're trading into a swing point with volume. That says it wants to at least test that low. That low is at $1.29. Well, it already tested it. We just hit $1.29. I think just as we were speaking out there. Now, it's really so it's tested that level out there, but this is really telling us it wants lower price. So I would not. The charts are not recommending that you take a short trade in Tesla. So Piper, I hope that helps you out. And as always, thanks for your request. Now, I'm just going to check my phone because there's been no other requests inside the Tiger's Den. Just see if anything has come in. And the answer to that question is no. So not having emails doesn't mean somebody hasn't sent anyone. Just means that the ISP has not yet sent one. Oh, here we go. We've got a little bit of an update. What do we have here? Nothing just yet. I'll recheck that in a few moments. So let's do this here. Let's go back and, I tell you what we want to do is we probably should take a look at gold. Don't you think? We should probably take a look at gold. So let's go pull up the gold charts there. Let's see if I've got those. Do I have those? Here we go. So what's going on inside of Goldilocks, other than a nice big whopper of a pullback out there, but it's really just trading with inside a consolidation pattern. If you look at my daily and my weekly time frame charts, you will see that sideways consolidation. I wasn't with you on Friday. It was with my one of my grandsons, well, two of my grandsons, I should say, teaching the 2.5-year-old how to hit a baseball. Not only did we successfully teach him how to hit the ball off the tee, we got rid of the tee, and he's hitting the ball pitching. He's only 2.5. Pretty cool. In any event, out here, while I was gone on Friday, what gold did was it tested the top of that consolidation pattern. You and I, we had that consolidation pattern drawn in here weeks ago. So you can't bust them to the upside. What did Obi-Wan teach us? If you can't bust them to the upside, price will try to bust them to the downside. Well, right now, price is below its green oscillator and change line, and it's trading below the top of its profile. The top of that profile, again, is 34.14. If we close below the top of the profile, odds favor we move lower, likely for 2 to 4 sessions, with 33.76 being one target, 33.38 being another target, and the bottom of the profile on 32.50 being the final target. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. I was setting up some charts for a couple requests that did come in, but before we do that, let's go take a look at the intraday charts here for Goldilocks. So we looked at the daily, the weekly, the monthly time frame, 25 out here, and the consolidation patterns, but let's just take a look at what's going on an intraday basis out here. And if you look at the bottom row of charts out here, 60, 30, 15, and 10-minute time frame, you're going to see Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottoms that had formed earlier this morning. How about that? Earlier this morning. And on a 2-hour time frame, we have a TD9 count bottom that is still in place out there. Now, we have a new profile on the 120-minute chart for gold, and that's got support at 3404.20 and resists at 3424.90. A close on a 2-hour basis below 3409.20 would negate that TD9 count bottom. We do not have a bottom pattern on the 5-hour chart or the 4-hour time frame chart, but we do on those other intraday charts out here. So it's possible that at least for the day, gold has bottomed. However, if price takes out the lows of the day, the low of the day for Goldilocks is 33.97.30. All of these bottom patterns will fail, and that's going to suggest that we continue to move lower. So again, the number to be watching today to the downside for Goldilocks from an intraday perspective is 33.97.30 out there. So I hope that helps everybody out. Now let's get to our first request coming in from GTE. And GT wants to take a look at XPEV, one of his favorite stocks out there. And this is trading in an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. Price took out its B point. What you're looking for here. Now, we have a gap to the upside. You see right now the daily candle shows as a shooting star. Is it a shooting star? Technically speaking, I suppose you could say yes if you're looking at the individual candle. But we don't do that. We also know that today is a gap up, and that's a bullish signal. So how can you have a bullish and a bearish signal? Exactly. That's my entire point. You really can't. You can only have one signal out there. And so what do? What we do is we go ahead and we fill in that gap. In fact, if we just go ahead and take a look at this, what we would do, the gap would look something like this. I'm just going to make a small little rectangle. We just fill that in. Whoops, I tried to fill it in. I'm not going to actually fill it in. But if you picture this being filled in there, and that was the bottom of today's candle, there's no way that's a shooting star candle. So it is not, even if it shows as a shooting star, a bearish reversal candle. Because what I'm about to say, if I didn't already say it, is what the daily time frame chart needs is a bearish reversal candle to form a sell the D point top. We don't have that as we speak right now, so price is likely to hit higher. Now, in the case of XPEV, it's trading into a swing point from back on May 21st. That had volume of 28 million shares. We are trading into it with 5 million shares. Lighter volume today. That if we close inside it doesn't mean that we can't go test the high of 2285. If we close inside it with volume, that would be a bonus. Now, the weekly chart is aiding the daily chart. How's that, Steve-O? Price is traded above the top of its weekly profile, closed above it last week. Closed just above its green oscillator and change line. We're traded above that today. Those are bullish conditions. Bullish conditions enough to at least probably take us up to the top of that swing point. Should be the same price, which is 2285. The monthly time frame chart is trading with inside its profile, I believe. Let me just make sure. The top is at 1690. No, it is not. It is trading above profile resistance out there. What's that black line? Oh, it's a consolidation pattern, probably. Yep, so XPEV has been trading in a sideways consolidations. Odds favor, this is on the monthly time frame, that price targets that 23 area out there. So GT, I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for the request. You also wanted to take a look at light sweet crude. So let's pull up the September contract. We'll be rolling here soon. The next contract, but in the case of the December contract, as I mentioned, I think I was actually thinking of light sweet crude, but it was really the 30-year Treasury where price had found support. Here in the case of light sweet crude, I'm looking at the weekly time frame chart. What price has done, it's pulled back to the support area where a counter trend move would come to an end. If this is only a counter trend move, What do you mean, Steve-O? Well, if you take a look at the weekly chart, in fact, just to make sure we're all looking at the weekly chart, we'll expand this chart out, and then we'll all be looking at one chart. Here, when we close above the top of a bearish structured profile, which on a weekly basis, Lightspeed Crude did the week of July 4th, the week of July 11th, the week of July the 18th out there. So for 3 consecutive weeks, we closed above that. When you close above that, my experience is on a bearish structured profile that if it's just a counter trend move to the downside, price will find support in that zone. And we can see that so far that has held up. So 63.51 is the key number for Lightspeed Crude. If we close below that on a weekly basis, odds favor a move to 59.95. Now that's on the weekly time frame. And the reason why the weekly time frame is so important right now is because the daily time frame is trading below profile support and its green oscillator and change line. No bottoming signal there. So it's really all going to be about the weekly. It's really all going to be about 63.51. We've just made it pretty simple. Now, in the case of Lightspeed Crude, it did trade lower for 5, 6 or 7 consecutive sessions out there. So a 2-day rally up towards 65.29 would be a normal outcome to anticipate out there. So I hope that helps you out both with both of those instruments out there. And thank you for your request. ELO inside the Tiger's Den wants to take a look at Eli Lilly, which I think took a big dump last week. Did it not? Earnings out here? Yeah, I remember that was on Thursday when I was flying and saw that. So big move to the downside. So where's Eli Lilly headed to? I would say ELO, that Eli Lilly, because it's trading below the bottom of its monthly profile at 682.99, without seeing any kind of a bottom on the daily or weekly. We'll open up those charts here, but I just wanted to get to the soup and nuts out there. That price is likely headed to the 579.05 level. This would only be the second month in a row to the downside out there. So nothing unusual there. If I take a look at the weekly time frame chart, let's open this up, see if we can find any other potential support levels. And I can. Let me just do this here. Just go to my indicator. And let me just put up a second TD9 count breakout level out there. So let's go from 1 to 2. Let's see where that next level is. There we go. So your next target level for Eli Lilly, 579.05 for the weekly time frame. So we got 579.05 for the weekly. We've got 579.05 for the monthly. Sure seems like that's where price is headed to for Eli Lilly. Now let's open up the daily time frame chart. Make sure that we have not overlooked anything. So you have a A to B equals CD pattern. The TD9 count bottom that formed on April 7th had volume of 6.2 million shares, was taken out on Thursday with 26 million shares. So now you've got an A to B equals CD pattern here to the downside. I believe we're probably trading below the 1-to-1 price projection. Yeah, we are trading below the 1-to-1 price projection level. So on a daily time frame, what you would be looking for here, ELO, is a bullish reversal candle to identify a buy the D point pattern. What we have right now is not a bullish reversal candle. What we have is an inside bar. An inside bar typically means that the direction that was in place or the trend that was in place will continue out there. So this is, after a 4-day decline, maybe you're just going to see a little 2-day rally. But it looks like ELO, that Eli Lilly wants to head down to that 579.05 level. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We're going to move on to ticker symbol TMDX. This is a request from Hector and Patty. And Hector wants to take a look at the potential for the A to B equals CD pattern on a daily time frame that I've drawn in here. You can see that price is testing a swing point. That swing point is from the trading session of August 4th. That swing point happens to have volume of 1.9 million shares. So far today, in a little over 2 hours of trading, we've done 1.1 million shares. So Hector is absolutely right. Price is testing the top of that candle. And if price is able to close above it, it being 131.85, you would have an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside that would take us back towards its highs from back in June out there. Now, what we can also see, Hector, is that when price rallied back on that August 4th swing point, what price was also doing was rallying right up into TD9 count breakdown resistance, 130.20. That, in fact, I don't care if we come into it with volume or not. That is and you can see why, you'd have to say why we're trading above profile resistance. We're trading above its oscillator and change line. We've got volume in the candle. What in the Sam heck is stopping it from rallying above that swing point? It is that TD9 count breakdown resistance level out there. But if you can close above that, that will have failed, and you likely go on to this is approximate around the 147 and change area out there. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame chart. The weekly time frame chart shows that price is attempting to take out its bearish structured weekly profile. In order to do that, we need to close above 128.40 to accomplish that task. Way too early in the week to be able to know whether that is going to be an outcome or not. The daily will be the one that would assist us with that. The monthly time frame chart is in bullish mode. Price here is trading above profile resistance, trading above its green oscillator and change line, so it wants to rally. But it's going to take its signals at this moment in time, likely from the daily chart out there. But if the daily closes above that swing point, you've got the volume, and then that's going to signal, because the weekly's trading above profile resistance, that in fact we should head higher. So I'd say it's really about two numbers, 130. I said 20, but let me make sure I gave you the right number. Maybe it's 70. 130.70. Yep, I want to check that. So it's really 130.70 and, perhaps more important, 131.85 out there. So Hector and Patty, always good to hear from you. Thanks so much for inquiring about TMDX. Tom wants to take a look at XLF. Really, he's just looking for, well, the question I believe was, is there a TD9 count pattern, and where are support and resistance levels? So when we see this daily time frame chart here populate, what we're going to see is we're going to see a series of digits that add up to the 9, showing a TD9 pattern, but not a valid bottoming pattern. In order to form a valid bottoming pattern, that low needs to be on bars 8, 9, or the bar following bar number 9. So do we have a TD9 count? We do. How's that going to help us? Well, what that does is really establishes that TD9 count breakdown resistance. Remember, we were just looking at that instrument with Hector and Patty, and how price ran into that level, and how that is a resistance, like support. We looked at a level for Eli Lilly, for ELO. Where's the next support level out there? Key areas to know. So in this case here, when we take a look at the XLF, you're asking for support. Well, we're trading below the green oscillator and change line and daily profile. So the next level of support would actually be that TD9 count breakout level. So that number, Tom, is 49.84. The weekly time frame shows that we're trading with inside its profile. Resistance is at 52.26. Resistance, by the way, on the daily time frame, I'd have to call that 52.32 to 52.51. Support on the weekly time frame for the XLF is between 50.17 and 50.69. The monthly time frame, price is trading right really at its oscillator and change line. We're printing at about, 51.84. The oscillator and change line is at 51.87. You've got a bearish structured profile. Price is trading into that sell zone, 50.24 to 52.64. Support here is 44.25. So, Tom, that's the information you were looking for with regard to the XLF. I hope that helps you out. And as always, thanks for your request. Inside the Tiger's Den, it was Mike 3767 out there who's interested in knowing what's the outlook for the S&P for its intermediate term time frame. So let's see if we can go figure that out. For intermediate term time frame, Mike, I'm going to go ahead, or Mick, I'm not sure if it's Mike or it's Mick, it's M-I-K, but let's take a look at the weekly time frame. Let's use that for the intermediate term time period. And what is its signal? So let's first take this chart back to the time period of October 14th, 2022. And what we can see out here is we can see an A to B equals CD pattern. So let's draw in that A to B line right here. Just going back, take a look at that chart out there. And now let's I'm just simply going to move this over to the lowest low that forms after that B point. And that's right here. And you can see that we are well above the 1-to-1 price area out there. It's not a 1-to-2 area, because if I move that up to here, well, take that back. It was a 1-to-2, A to B equals CD. That's an interesting thing. So this formed a 1-to-2, A to B equals CD pattern. Those of you that own time in the trade know, because it's written in there. It's a fact. As Tom said, Tom O'Brien, if you do a 1-to-2 A to B equals CD pattern, you are likely going to change trend. Well, we got that bearish engulfing candle that formed out here on the week of August 1st. So we do have a sell the D point top for the S&P 500. So to answer your question, Mick, what is price going to do? Well, if price is able to close above on a weekly basis, 64.2702 out there, it'll negate that signal. There will be no other pattern that I see at this moment in time, and that would suggest that we head higher. So it's really clear on the S&P 500. The key level to be watching from an intermediate term time frame is 64.2702. Now, Stevie, you just said that this has a sell the D point top. Should I sell? Should I sell out of my long position? Absolutely, positively not. You're not getting that kind of signal at all from its weekly time frame. Price here is trading above its green oscillator and change line. That's at 62.58. At a minimum, here, just take a look at it as an example here, Mike, Mick. If you come down into the November time frame out here, this November of 2023, look at how that green oscillator and change on any pullbacks found support there. This is an important line tool out here for you to be paying attention to. Mike from Ormond Beach. Oh, great. Okay, thank you. Downside support at this stage is 62.58.90. When I take a look at the S&P 500, and you were asking about the intermediate term time frame, kind of have to keep this also in the context of, so in that case there, this is showing that we're trading below resistance and above support on a weekly time frame. So how does that help us out? Well, if we go back to the daily equity future contract, out here. What we're going to see with regard to the ES Mini, I'm just going to open up the daily time frame for the ES Mini chart out there, because on the weekly chart, it's really kind of consolidation between that support and resistance level. If we take a look at the ES Mini for its daily time frame, the current profile that we have right now, we just pull this back a bit, this profile wrapped around the prior profile. The prior profile had a resistance, a top at 64, 43, says 85. Okay, it doesn't exist. But here, this profile forms the top at 63.7750. That does exist out there. That's a price point that the ES could trade into. When you have a profile that wraps around a prior profile, that is a message of a consolidating market. That's what its intentions are. Well, what about the NQ or the NASDAQ out there? Its intentions look like it may be to head higher out there. Perhaps we haven't taken a look at those top 8 holdings inside the NDX 100. So at this stage here, we come back from the break. I'll at least have those charts up on our screen for us to end the show. But what's the intermediate term outlook? I don't have the answer. The answer's in the charts, and we don't have the answer in the charts just yet. So I do hope that helps you out, Mike, and always good to hear from you. That was Mike in Ormond Beach, Florida. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. I refreshed my email system on my phone, and there were a number of requests that have come in. We will get to those tomorrow. So Yvonne will take a look at LAR and LAC in the morning. Joe, who wants to short the Qs, please re-listen to the show. I spent the entire first and maybe portion of the second segment on the Qs themselves, so please re-listen to that. I would ask you this question: why are you going to short the strongest indice out there? Mohammed wants to look at IBM and Uber, so we'll do that tomorrow as well. NVIDIA has got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. That formed on the trading day of July 31st. It closed today above 183.30. We're trading 183.32. We'll negate that signal and suggest that it trades higher. If we take a look at Microsoft right now is just fine, has found support, it appears, at the top of its profile, and that's at 522.60. Likely to go rally up towards its oscillator and change line at 530.87. Apple has an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. That should take us up towards at least the 238.97 level out there. So Apple wants to move higher. Again, we're looking for reasons to short. Amazon out here, which had that nice big move to the downside. Right now, price have found resistance at its oscillator and change line. If you see Amazon trade above it, right now it is 225.59. That's going to be bullish out there. So we have a top that formed, Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Price did find support at the bottom of its profile, 213.93. Avgo, it closed above 306.95. That's its Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. That's the one that formed out here the trading day of... What day was that? That was July 31st. So we closed above that, and right now we're trading at 306.22. We negate that signal, and we head higher. If we take a look at Facebook, Facebook has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Its price is traded above profile resistance at a screen oscillator and change line. Its signal is neutral. It closed above 783.13. We're off to the race to the upside. Netflix has a profile change in trend. It wants to trade to the upside. And Tesla, which we already covered, is going to go ahead and confirm an A to B equals CD pattern on a daily time frame to the upside out there. The top 8, which are really holding up the NASDAQ 100 out here, they are not saying that they are really through moving higher. Yes, there's some resistance that they've got ahead above, and a couple of them might actually take those levels out today. Folks, thanks so much for joining me here on Magical Monday. Please join me tomorrow on Terrific Tuesday. Have a great day. Be safe out there. We'll look forward to... Oh, by the way, I'll be back at 3:15 with Tommy. Take care, folks.